Today we'll look at what might be the best countertop home slushy machine. This is the HiCozy F3 slushy machine, and this is different than the dozens and dozens of other countertop machines you'll find. And not just the look of it either, the components, the way it works, and its ability to slush cocktails at a higher ABV sets this apart from all others. So today, I'll show you how to make a strawberry daiquiri that's 15% alcohol by volume. We'll make some homemade soft serve ice cream and Disney authentic Dole Whip. Not the knockoff fake stuff you find on YouTube. We're making authentic, real Dole Whip that you would find in a Disney park. Today's video is sponsored by HiCozy, so it's not an impartial review of the machine, but a showcase of what it can do. While it is a sponsored video, I will give my honest opinions of the machine, as well as some pros and cons that I'll share at the end of this video. So what really makes the machine different from the other popular machines and the knockoff versions of those machines? First, it's just different. As someone who has tested 8 different home slushy machines, this one is built differently, designed differently, and uses different parts than the others. The vessel or tank or hopper is double-walled, not so much offering insulation, but it prevents condensation buildup on the outside like most other machines have. The evaporator is larger and seemingly more powerful than the other machines out there. The second thing that makes it stand out from the others is the performance of this machine. While other machines might max out around 10% ABV cocktails, sometimes you might be able to get a certain one of them up to 11 or 12. I've made drinks in this at 14% ABV, and the HiCozy F3 has no problems doing that. The last big differentiator than the others is that this can make ice cream, soft serve ice cream. I mean, they even included a cone holder on the side of the machine. Now, I found this ice cream claim to be a bit gimmicky when I first learned about it because they can all make soft serve ice cream, but what they all do is just take a slushie and make a slushie with cream. But the HiCozy actually has variable speeds. You can see it running different programs for different drinks and spinning at higher or lower rates depending on what it is, and churning, so it can churn at a much higher speed. So let's run through some of the specs and some of the details of this machine. It needs a minimum of 22 ounces for a slushie or a max of 41, but when in the ice cream mode, you want a max of 25 ounces. The guidelines in the booklet say you need about 3.5% sugar or 3.5 bricks, but they told me you need about 6%. The guidelines also say that you can do 16% ABV. I haven't really pushed it that far, but today we'll make a strawberry daiquiri that is about 15% alcohol and 9 bricks. Most machines will tell you that they can do 15 to 16% alcohol by volume, but I promise you that they can't. But this one can. I've tested them all, and I've tested them all with the same solution to see which ones could really perform, and this one performs just as well, if not better, than every other countertop machine that I've tried. So let's actually test this out and make a daiquiri that's 15% ABV and 9 degrees bricks, that's 9% sugar by weight, and this will be a strawberry daiquiri using a homemade strawberry syrup that is 50 bricks. I'll have this recipe for this strawberry daiquiri in this episode's description. I'm using fresh lime juice, my strawberry syrup, some white rum, and then we need some water. The machine does give you a beep when it's ready, and it gives you a little sign there on the screen that it says cool, so it's keeping it at that temperature. All right, that is the booziest slushie I have ever made in a slushie machine. It's 15% alcohol and it is 9% sugar. This, I can just predict from how well this slush that this can do 16%. There's no reason this can't go up higher. It has the slushy consistency. And if you look at that, that's not a technicality. We didn't barely get it to slush where there's some ice in there and pretty loose. That's a real slushy. And some of the other machines that I've tested at 10 or 11% can't even do this well. So let's try it. That is one of the better, maybe one of the best strawberry daiquiri that I've ever made because it's not overly sweet. So many of them rely so much on sweetness as a crutch. You can't even taste the rum. Here, the rum is first and foremost. It's cold, it's rummy. And then you get the strawberry there in the background. And I like using that fresh strawberry syrup that I made because it's not as strawberry forward. So you still get the brightness and the sweetness from strawberries, but it's not overly strawberry or overly sweet. Just everything balances out very well. And this machine solves one of my pet peeves that I hate about every slushie machine so far, is that when you're pouring something into it, or you're taking a slushie out of it to check it and pour it back in, you can pour it in easily. So many of these machines put these tiny little holes on the top because they're too afraid that we're gonna put ice or something solid in there. This one, you can pour it in basically as fast as you want, saves me time. And yeah, I know it's kind of a pet peeve, but some of those other machines I can't stand. This one, you can pour it back in super easily. Now let's make some ice cream, and I'm leaving the recipe for this soft serve ice cream mix I came up with in this episode's description. It's going to include granulated sugar, whole milk, heavy cream, pinch of salt, and some vanilla. It also comes with this snap-on attachment if you want to get those cool-looking swirls in your soft serve ice cream. This is my first time making soft serve ice cream in this machine. I guess I'm a little bit more surprised at how well that worked. You can just see like how much volume got whipped into it. And that wasn't even on the highest setting. So if you wanted to make it even thicker, you could do that as well. If you want to make it a little thinner, you can do that by turning it down. But this turned out so well. So let's try some homemade vanilla soft serve. That's great. Obviously, the ice cream you make, the mix you make is going to be important to how it tastes. I'm not a stranger to ice cream machines. I have 4 of them, including the Breville one with an onboard compressor. And this works just as well as those. You could definitely make soft serve, put it into a container and freeze it. You started to add some stabilizers in here, whether it's from like the Modernist Pantry or just different gums that you know work in ice cream, you could help this as well to give it a little more structure. But if you didn't have an ice cream machine and you were thinking like, oh, I'd like to have an ice cream machine, I'm also looking at a slushie machine. This machine can do both slushies and soft serve, and it makes both of those well. And now for the thing I've been waiting to share here on YouTube for the longest time, authentic Dole Whip. Most people get this wrong because during COVID times, Disney shared a home recipe, a recipe that used pieces of pineapple, but that recipe and all of the others that copied it are not authentic. The only way to make authentic Dole Whip is to buy authentic Dole Whip. And if we follow the recipe, we would need to mix this entire bag in a bucket. But I don't need that much, so I've converted this down, and I'll have this recipe in the episode description if you want to take your huge 4+ pounds of Dole Whip and make a smaller recipe. Time for some real Dole Whip, and this is a lot lighter than the real Dole Whip you're gonna get from Disneyland. I put it on the slushy setting. I have a feeling there's probably another setting better for this. It feels so light and airy. You can see it really whipping air into it. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. Could be good, but if you want to get a little denser, you can turn down the dial there and it's going to spin a little bit slower. But let's try this. Cheers. I mean, the flavor is all there. Tastes delicious. It is much lighter and airier. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna let this machine come down in temp a little bit. I'm gonna run it on a different setting. And then I actually took about an ounce of a dark rum and I stuck that in my freezer. I'll play with the settings, then I'll give myself a little dark rum float on this Dole Whip and we'll see how it tastes. Ice cream setting was the way to go. So let's try it, a Dole Whip with rum, just as Walt would have wanted. Cheers. I've made Dole Whip before many times. I had a bag like 5 years ago that I went through. That stuff also expires, only lasts a couple years. I've never had it with rum. I gotta say, I think Karuba, you can get it. It's the perfect rum for a Dole Whip. If you're interested in me making more authentic Dole Whips, I happen to have strawberry and orange. So we can make an orange bird, is that what it's called? Let me know in the comments below. I think out of the hundreds of things I've had Karuba in, I think this is the best thing yet. All right, let's talk a little bit more about the machine, the pros and the cons, and let's start with the cons and get them out of the way. First is it's loud, but I guess not really. So the machine itself is not loud. When it's running, it's not loud. In fact, it's pretty quiet. But when I first used it, I put some soda in here to see, and I just filled it up to a certain level that when you turn the machine on, there's a lot of sloshing going on. Every other time I've used it, I haven't noticed that. So it has to do something when there's a certain amount of liquid up on the high part of the tank. It can make a back and forth sloshing noise. But today, in the 3 recipes, I didn't have that. As far as comparing it to the noise levels of other machines, it's as quiet, if not quieter, than most. The second thing that's going to take some getting used to is the handle and the lever, because there's no spring. So as you pull it down, you have to push it back up. It's easy to push up, but it's just something you have to remember. I asked HiCozy about this. They told me that's part of their design to be able to clean it better. If you have one slush machine, I don't think it's a problem. I've not accidentally left it open yet, but my thinking is, you know, if you have a kid using it or someone who's not used to using it, and they don't realize you got to push it back up, that could potentially be an issue. But if it's you and it's the only machine you have, you'll get used to it. The menu takes a little bit of getting used to, like how to turn it on and off, how to move it up and down, which ones to press. Same thing as before though. If you have one machine, you'll learn how to do this. But as I'm testing a bunch of machines, just figuring it out each time. But I like that it's simple. I like that there are a couple buttons where some of these machines have no buttons, and then the screen clearly shows you what you're doing. This is not so much a con as just something to be aware of, is that there is no drip tray underneath of the hopper. There's a little hole there, so any liquid that would spill goes down there, goes down through the machine and out through the drip tray at the bottom. But since this one's double walled, there's not really much mess there. It's only really a problem or something that comes up when you're cleaning the machine and you take this off. If you spilled anything into this area underneath of the hopper, then you would need to wipe that down with a rag and then make sure you put some clean water through that hole so you don't have anything kind of building up in there over time. The last negative that I'll mention is that it seems like most things just take a little bit longer. I don't know if that's because the machine has a bigger evaporator or what it is, but if you compare it to other machines, it just takes a little bit longer. I think that that's a fine trade-off considering it can slush more things and go to a higher ABV. It can whip more air into drinks as well. So that's just something to keep in mind if you care about how fast a drink is made. This might take a few minutes longer, but you can always kind of fix that by pre-chilling your mix. Now let's talk about the pros of this machine, the positives. It runs quieter. And I know I just said that it's the noise, but that's only when there's a certain amount of liquid in there. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet. If you were sitting on the other side of the bar from me and this was on, We could have a normal conversation. It might get a little bit annoying because the fan's blowing, but there's not the big gear turning noise. There's not a lot of that scraping noise you get from the other machines. It's mainly just the fan. Probably the biggest pro of this machine is that it just gets colder than all the others. I've tested this exhaustively. This is as good, if not better, than any other slushie machine of this similar size and style. It gets colder, and because of that, and that leads me to my next positive thing, it can do higher ABV cocktails, and not just barely. Like we did 15% today, and that was slushed enough to show me that you could go to 16%. I don't even know, maybe you could go higher than that if you wanted to. I don't think we need to, but this is the only machine that can do the ABV that it says it can do. Every other machine, except for maybe one or two, can't really do that. So if you want to make cocktails that are higher than 10% alcohol by volume, your options are extremely limited, and this machine can do that. Next, it makes really good ice cream, and I'm guessing sorbets. It's kind of what the Dole Whip was. So if you want to make homemade ice cream, homemade soft serve, or sorbets, then this can do it. Once again, it's just easier to load this machine because of the open grates at the top. If you have something that's already slushed and you're trying to get it back in, it goes in much easier than everything else. The machine's pretty easy to clean up. It's not that much different than the other machines. It's just sort of twist off, and then you could take that to your sink and you can clean it out. It cleans relatively easily, and unlike some of the other machines, there's no hidden plastic parts that could build up mold on the inside. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But this is built in a way where it's way easier to clean than the other machines. And last, considering what it can do, it's pretty compact for its abilities. So you could put this on a countertop, and if you want to have it sit out, it could sit out. It's much bigger than a typical blender or a toaster or even a coffee machine, but it's not that much bigger than any other slushie machine. So if you plan on keeping this out, I don't think it's that big of an issue. Now, as of me posting this video, you can't currently buy the machine. It's on Kickstarter, and I believe if you back it, it's between $286 and $299. It is launching on June 24th, 2025, and you can click that notify button to make sure that you are reminded on launch day. And I think that this is a great value, and I would easily pay over $500 for a machine this capable. So that is it for this one, the HiCozy F3 slushie machine. And just once again, this was a sponsored video, so it's not a full review or endorsement, but I think that you should judge this machine based on the results that you saw today and how it performs. This machine will make an appearance in the future for a video comparing all the slushie machines that I currently have. So if you want to check that video out, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to support this channel more, go check out my Patreon page, and otherwise, see you in the next one.